Okay, I know this is nearly a month late, but I would like to comment on the Remington lawsuit. The state of Connecticut, which is a little on the liberal side, plus they were under a lot of pressure, decreed in the court said that a lawsuit could go forward against Remington, who owns Bushmaster, and Bushmaster, one of their ARs, was used in the San Diego massacre. So what happened was Remington settled the lawsuit, and it was for a lot of money. And I said Remington should be boycotted, and I still stand by that. The reason why is because Remington did nothing wrong, and by settling the lawsuit, they made a precedent at the state level, if not the federal level, that it's okay to sue gun manufacturers for no reason at all. Now, there was a horrible case years ago. A woman was clocked at the Tappan Zee Bridge. I don't know when she got in the car, but she was clocked at the Tappan Zee Bridge, and she ended up in Putnam County. I have family in Putnam County. In fact, my cousin, who died a year and a half ago, was from Putnam County. And it took me about for her funeral. Because I haven't. Last time I was in Putnam County was her funeral. Before that was 2015 when we found her father got 2 Bronze Stars in Vietnam. Yeah. So I go up there rarely, like once every couple of years, if I go that often. And I've been there maybe 3 times in 10 years. From where I live was maybe a 40-minute ride to Putnam-ish. Figure the Tappan Zee Bridge add another 15-20 minutes at least. She was clocked at the Tappan Zee Bridge by the toll collector, and ended up in Putnam County. I don't know when she got in the car, but she was in the car for well over an hour. Well over an hour. She had she was taken by a kid. A car full of kids. Her kids, a couple of kids, but kids. She crashed into a car that was from my hometown and killed 3 men from my hometown. This woman her family said they had no idea she was an alcoholic. This woman had so much alcohol in her body, she had to be the biggest alcoholic in the world because the average person would not tolerate that much alcohol in their body. An average person would literally vomit blood and pass out by drinking half that alcohol. She was a blitzed fucking drunk. One person survived the accident. Everyone else died. She killed, I think, like 12 people. I'll look it up in a minute, but she killed a lot of people. And what happened was our state passed a law saying if you drive drunk, excuse me, with a child in the car, automatic felony. Now, typically, 2 DWIs is a misdemeanor, third is a felony. Excuse me. In my home state, if you drive drunk with a child in the car, automatic felony. Now, that doesn't help her because she's already dead. And, but, yeah. Sorry, because I'm in my throat. So, that is that. But we can't punish her because she's dead. There is a desire to punish criminals for what they've done. I understand the desire. But that desire should not be suing innocent guys for no reason. Now, the lawsuit was an absolutely ridiculous lawsuit, and I think Remington should afford it. Okay, if it goes to a jury and the jury decides against it, then that's that, but they should afford it, and they didn't. Now, here's the thing. The Bushmaster rifles, one rifle on the website said patrol rifle. Maybe they made a rifle like that a while ago for a police department, and they said, call it the patrol and put it on sale for the public. One of the other rifles said, your man card be issued. Well, I don't know what patrol you're going on, and I don't know where you're getting your man card from, but I never in my life met a patrolman who thought that killing a bunch of kids was cool. I never in my life met anyone that thought they needed a man, that they would lose their man card unless they killed a lot of kids. It's a point of, I want a lot of money, and because I want a lot of money, I'm gonna just blurt shit out of my ass. Now, the Dark Knight shooting, that lawsuit, there was a lawsuit there against Lucky Gunner. And the lawsuit said also an armor company that sells body armor. The lawsuit said that the body armor company should not have sold him the armor because it's a federal crime to sell body armor to a deranged person. The judge pointed out, and rightly so, that the law says it's a federal crime to sell body armor to a convicted felon. Now, obviously, the shooter's a convicted felon now, but he wasn't a convicted felon at the time. And Lucky Gunner, they said that Lucky Gunner should have known he was going to be a mass shooter because he bought like 3,000 rounds of ammo. Really? Most people will buy 1,000 rounds per caliber per year, or per visit to the store. Whether that store is an online store, a physical store, whatever. But most guys will buy 1,000 rounds per caliber, including me. I shoot once a month, and I buy 1,000 rounds of caliber. As a matter of fact, I went to go shooting yesterday, but the range was so packed that the range director literally said, by the time all these guys get finished shooting, we'll be going home. That's how packed the range was. He had like a 5-hour backlog on it. Yeah. So, but there are guys that shoot every other weekend. There are guys that shoot every weekend. Okay? There are guys that have special passes. Like they own a membership card to the range, and they go to a range anytime. There was a range I saw on Long Island. I wasn't there in person, obviously, but I saw it on YouTube on Long Island. The members have their own key, and they can go like 2 a.m. if they want to and shoot. There's no limit. People do sponsorships shooting, and they do this and the other thing, and they have to shoot a lot more. Okay? There are guys that shoot 10, 20,000 rounds a year. Now, if Lucky Gunner picked up the phone and called the FBI or any gun manufacturer, or firearms manufacturer, ammunition manufacturer, ammunition dealer, okay, whether you be an ammunition dealer online or physically, if you picked up the phone and called the FBI, not to do an FBI background check like you do when you buy a gun, but if you picked up the phone and called the FBI and said, I think this person is planning a mass shooting, every single time a guy bought 3,000 rounds of ammo, guess what? You'd be calling the FBI every 3 customers-ish. Okay? People aren't going to buy 2 boxes of ammo and go to the store every time they got to go to the range. People buy a lot of ammo because you buy years worth of ammo, which means you only got to go to the store once a year, or online once a year. Okay? And I've seen people where there's a sale on ammo, or ammo stocked up, and they fear an ammo shortage, and they'll be like, well, 5,000 rounds of 5.56 is going to last me 3 years. Okay, I'll buy it now. You know, it's going to be shot. It's not going to go to waste, I don't think. I'm gonna shoot it. It's not going to go bad on me. Let me tell you something right now. I wish I bought 10,000 rounds of 45 ACP years ago, because since I started shooting in 2008, ACP has more than doubled in price. Yeah. So figure, yeah. And the lawsuit was thrown out. The judge said, if you want to argue these points, fine, but they're not to be argued in a courtroom. You know, argued at the legislature, argued in public. This, okay. What happened with that lawsuit was One of the families from the Dark Knight Massacre, the Brady campaign had talked them into filing this lawsuit, and then at the last minute, the Brady campaign pulled out of the lawsuit. And then when it came time to lose the lawsuit, and when they were fined the court fees in order to pay Lucky Gunner's legal expenses, because if you file a frivolous lawsuit, the judge can legally make you pay the expenses of the lawyer. The Brady campaign did not come in and pay the fees for them. The Brady campaign simply held them up as an advertisement saying, hey, look, in America, you can commit a mass shooting, and when the victim sues, they'll have to pay the money. Or in America, you can provide ammo for a mass shooter, and the victims will pay you money. Okay? I mean, it's not the right form. You know, you want to hold someone responsible. Well, the Dark Knight shooter survived, and he was put in prison, and the odds of him getting out of prison alive is about a 3-1. Okay? And if the shooter commits suicide or is killed by police, or if the drunk driver is killed through the accident, you can't hold him accountable. Now imagine if one of the families of one of the victims, say the 3 men from my hometown, filed a lawsuit against the car manufacturer that manufactured the minivan. And they said, well, the minivan advertises how many passengers it can hold, and drunk drivers know that's how many guys they can put in their car when they're drunk. Or imagine if a car company made a car, any car, minivan, sports car, and they said it gets X number of miles to the gallon, or it drives X number of miles without refueling. Well, a drunk driver, because the drunk driver had that car and caused the accident, the drunk driver felt that they drive drunk frequently, and they could go X number of miles without having to go to the gas station. Because if you go to the gas station, put gas in the car, the gas station attendant will smell the alcohol in your breath and call the police. It's obligated to, by the way. And by having this car and advertising that it goes X number of miles without stopping for gas, drunk drivers know that they can go X number of miles without having to go to the gas station and get caught. Okay? Or imagine if I have a car, it's a sports car, or someone makes a sports car, and they say the car can go from 0 to 40 in 3 seconds. Okay? Well, someone that likes to drive drunk would like that because they can drive drunk real fast. I mean, that's basically what it is. Okay? Because a guy bought 3,000 or 4,000 rounds of ammo, Lucky Gunner should know he's going to commit a mass shooting. Because the rifle says patrol, someone that wants to kill a lot of kids might want to use it. Okay? And that's why I call for him to be boycotted. I would never have started that lawsuit. Never. Okay? I would have fought the lawsuit. Because you can't just set the president. How about knives, okay? I can order, and I have ordered knives online. I can go to Blade HQ right now, and I can order $2,000 worth of knives. I can buy 100 knives on Blade HQ right now. My credit card's like, motherfucker, please. But I could buy that now. What if someone goes on Blade HQ and they buy a machete? I bought a machete for my superintendent once. Yeah, he needed a new machete, so I bought him one. He paid back, obviously. So you go on Blade HQ and you buy a machete because people clear away vegetation with machetes on their farm, their ranch, whatever. Well, Blade HQ should know that mass murderers might like machetes. So when a guy came online, bought a machete, they should have asked, do you have a farm? Do you have a ranch? Why do you want a machete? And okay, no, simply making an instrument and selling it is not wrong morally or legally. Nor should it be. Now, if a gun manufacturer is caught giving guns to people at this sending the guns to their house, that is wrong legally. So if you had Remington, Bushmaster, one of those companies that sent the AR-15 to the shooter's mother's house, then I would say yeah. Okay, if there was a federal law passed, and in some states there is a law passed, by the way, but if there was a federal law passed that says you can't buy ammo online, and Lucky Gunner sent the ammo to the guy's house, then I would say they were wrong. Okay, if there was a federal law that said any person who buys 10,000 rounds or more at a time has to go through an FBI background check, and Lucky Gunner did not send the ammo to an FFL, do a background check, and give him the ammo, then they would be wrong. Okay? But you have to have an actual law to illustrate what they did wrong. You can't just say, well, you should have known that by saying patrol, or you should have known by saying man card. Well, like I said a minute ago, where I come from, man card and patrol do not equate to murdering children, okay? Any man, okay, whether he's a motorcycle man or a tattoo man or a gun man or a knife man or a wilderness man or a boat man or okay or a sports car man or a monster truck man. I don't know any so-called man that thinks he's macho by killing a bunch of 6-year-olds. Okay, it's just ridiculous. Okay, it's a lawsuit and such of a problem. It's someone looking to make money. Okay, now if someone in my family was killed by a gun, I wouldn't blame the gun. I blame the person using the gun. And if I found out that an FFL or a gun manufacturer made a deliberate mistake, okay, selling a gun without a background check, mailing a gun to someone's house, okay, giving someone a gun knowing they failed the background check, giving someone a gun knowing they shouldn't have it, okay, straw purchase. Now, I said this before about the Sandy Hook shooting. If the mother was not murdered herself, I personally would have called for her to be prosecuted for straw purchase. Because a straw purchase, by legal definition, means you bought a gun and gave it to someone that you know shouldn't have it. Okay, so you did the background check yourself. Okay, whatever registration, licensing, whatever is required by your state law, you went through that by yourself, and you gave them the gun off record, knowing they shouldn't have it. Now, there's been a lot of guys that bought their best friend a gun, bought their 10-year-old kid a gun, bought their mother a gun. Okay, the ATF says someone's got to pass the background check. And there are a few states that say, listen, you're buying someone a gun, we want them to do the background check. You're buying someone a handgun, we want them to register it. Okay? I can legally go out right now and buy someone I know a handgun. My state law will say that the person who is possessing the handgun has to already have a license and has to register the handgun with the county judge. That's the state law says that, okay? But straw purchase means one person does the background or license or registration or whatever is required, and they give it to someone on the low that they know shouldn't have it. Okay? So if your son is 18 and you give him a brand new shotgun and he never, ever, ever, ever did anything wrong at all, but he got real mad and shot a guy with it, you can't be charged with a straw purchase. if your son is a convicted felon, if your son is on probation for assault, if your son is a registered sex offender, if your son is an alcoholic, if your son is a drug addict, if your son attempted suicide, then you would be held accountable under federal law and state law too. This woman was trying to get her son into a mental institution and buying him guns. So yeah, that's a straw purchase if you ask me. But we can't prosecute her because she's dead too. And we can't prosecute him because he committed suicide. You know, that's the thing, okay? How about Adolf Hitler? Okay? He committed suicide or was killed by his own men, whichever story you believe, before the Russians arrived. So by legal definition, Adolf Hitler was not held responsible. Okay? Saddam Hussein was held responsible. See how that works out? Now, did the families of the Jews killed in the Holocaust, or anyone else killed in the Holocaust, or anyone else that died in World War II, did they sue Adolf Hitler's sister? No, they didn't. Why? Because she was a tiny little woman who ended up spending the rest of her life on welfare, changed her name, lived in a small village, okay? And she once gave an interview in which she said, "He's still my brother," okay? No one sued her. Her brother committed more war crimes than anyone else in the past 500 years, okay? Or more. In fact, if you look at all of history, maybe Genghis Khan did. Caligula didn't, okay? You gotta go to like Genghis Khan to find someone that committed that many war crimes. Okay, it's gotta be a really crazy guy. Okay? But you know, you can sue Adolf Hitler's sister. Did someone sue the brick manufacturer? Okay, they built concentration camps to kill Jews in. Okay, did anybody sue the company that made the bricks? Did they? Good question. I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer kept fucking dead bodies in his fucking refrigerator. Okay, did anybody sue the refrigerator company? No. Okay. Ted Bundy, one of the cars he used a couple cars, but one of Ted Bundy's cars was a Volkswagen Beetle. Did anybody sue Volkswagen? Oh, by the way, Hitler was the original guy behind the Volkswagen. Yeah, Hitler. Look it up. Some Hitler. Okay, that's the issue. The worst serial killer of the 20th century was Andrei Chikatilo. Russian guy, yeah, they're all Russians, all Soviet Union, all that bullshit. He used a kitchen knife to kill people. Did anyone sue the kitchen knife company? No. Charles Manson. Did anybody sue the knife companies or the company that made the 22 pistol? No. No. At all. It's just ridiculous. You're holding the wrong person accountable. Thank you.